Hey, it's Cliff, and I'm going to give you an update on Sologenic and Coreum, what they've been doing in the past 2 months or so, if anything at all. And I'm going to try and reason with the people that might still be in this crypto, try to give them some advice if I can. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get into it. So first of all, here I got a tweet from Bob Ras. This is from back in September. This is from September 12th, and he says, sealed, after a long focused effort, we're prepared to unveil a major transformative development next month. That would be October, which is already passed. This marks a pivotal moment in the journey of both Sologenic and Coreum, thanks to our incredible communities and supporters for continued belief of our vision. So he really hyped up this tweet. A lot of people were super excited. It was supposed to come out in October, and October came and nothing was there. There was no information. There was no transparency. There was nothing for anybody. There was literally like just nothing. So obviously with the community being in an uproar, they're like, hey, what the hell? You guys keep promising all this stuff. We were supposed to get an airdrop. You said that never happened. I never got any money from that. Now you're hyping up this stuff here and then nothing. Now we're pissed. Favio comes out here and he tries to do damage control on the community. And he says, I've been a part of the Sologenic team for almost 3 years and the mission has not changed. And if the mission hasn't changed, maybe it should change. Just throw that out there. Maybe people are pissed and not a lot's happening. So if nothing's changing, maybe you should probably change something. But going on, it says to build a reliable and compliant platform to manage and exchange TradeFi assets as digital tokens, leveraging the transparency, efficiency, and accessibility that blockchain rails provide. This mission came before RWA was the ultimate crypto buzzword. It is affected by so many factors and timeline that we simply cannot control, but have managed to remain on a steady path towards it. As Bob highlighted in his tweet, we are preparing to disclose a pivotal milestone within our mission. No more vague promises of big things coming. We know what the next big thing is, and it's already here. If the team comes out and they make vague promises as well, that probably means they don't actually have the things that they're saying. They're trying to string you along. That's really all this is. They're trying to string you along. So of course the people are going to be mad. They're going to be really mad, right? They keep promising these things. Here he is with this meme saying, oh yeah, something great's gonna come out next month. Y'all just gotta stick around and great things are gonna be here. And then before he promised there was gonna be another airdrop. They're gonna be giving you all this money. That never happened. And they don't want to respond to any of the questions. They typically ban people who ask these kind of questions. So the community's kind of pissed. I've noticed that. They're a little bit pissed off. They're not really believing in these tokens anymore, which you can see a major shift in the market at this point. There's really been nothing going on with this crypto for a while. We've seen a lot of these like decode things coming out, which reminds me of XRP back in the day, being led on with this bear, and people would post pictures to try and make it seem like they could connect the dots and how they were going to make money. It's really just preying on poor people. That's exactly what they're doing here. They're preying on poor people who maybe don't have an opportunity to get ahead in life. And so they're going to keep stringing these people along, investing what they can into this and making people like Bob Ras rich. That's really what it comes down to. They're just trying to string people along by vague promises that never actually happen. And they take probably people like you watching this, they're taking your money and buying mansions. We saw that in the past. We saw Bob Ras bought a mansion when Sologenic was at its peak. It crashed with the airdrop actually happening, and he bought a mansion. He couldn't hide it. It was public. Very public that he bought a very nice LA mansion with what I would assume is mostly poor people's money. People that were chasing the meme coin dream and hoping that they could get rich and maybe leave a lifestyle that they don't like as much. And he kind of preyed on that. That's what happened. He's just preying on it. So anyway, he goes on to say, this is just the first of many spaces, a recurrent way of communicating with our community for truly decentralized conversations. See you on next Friday. So they hype up this big space that they're going to have. There's going to be information in there that you actually need as an investor. They're going to actually give you something to hope for, pretty much. They're going to give you something, right? So let's go forward and let's go to the space. So here's the space here. They got this week's office hours, covered the latest Sologenic milestones and strategic goals and alignments, blah, 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 right? All of this is supposed to be great. They're supposed to help you in here basically get more passion for this investment again. So I listened to this, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, nothing was in this space. It was absolutely terrible. It reminded me of a Zoom call at work that nobody wants to be on. This was literally like a bunch of people sitting around thinking that this could have been an email. There wasn't any information. I'm going to play you a little clip of it just so you can kind of get a feel of what this was like.
Perhaps I could also ask you this question, Fabio. I'm wondering if you could explain or share a little bit more insight into a typical day in the office for you.
I definitely want to hear Mike on this, but a typical day in the office for me, it really varies. I guess the most important part of my day, of course, is syncing with the team. And in the latter 3 to 4 months, I've been working very closely with Mike, specifically on a go-to-market strategy for the asset tokenization gateway, and just more so on the product side of things, right? There's a lot of research that needs to be done on that front, right? Like, who are potentially our competitors, and we have that nailed down. Who would be, third parties that we should partner with to ensure easier onboarding, to ensure easier off-ramping, like all of the factors that will really take us to the next level. And I think we have a pretty solid platform at the moment. We have Sologenic, right? And we actually have a Sologenic 2.0 ready. I don't know if I disclosed that before, but now you guys know. It's finished, and we hope to release it very soon. And it basically is just a better UX flow and overall product improvements, right? No new features, just clarifying. But
so yeah, that went on for like an hour. So I get up and I talk to my team and we make coffee, and this should have been an email. Literally, that's just what the conversation was. The best thing that came out of this hour-long space was that they have a new design for Sologenic as far as like a UX front. They made it prettier. Who cares? Literally, that's not really pushing your investment along very much. They made it prettier on the front end. Who cares? That's it. That was after hyping up another thing and claiming that they were going to be more transparent from the future. This hour-long conversation was just for them to say that they made their website prettier and waste people's time. That's it. That's literally it. This was supposed to be their saving grace for transparency and being with the community and giving them information and letting them know where they're at. And the AMA questions that they actually put on this thing was, what is your day-to-day like? What do you do in the morning? Does anyone care? Does anyone care that Favio gets up and he talks to his team and he makes coffee and they have fun together? Nobody cares. This is terrible. This really is just like, it's a joke. It really is a joke. For like half of the space, they were supposed to have this guy, Mike McCluskey or Kluskey on, however you say his name. And he is their new head of strategic partnerships. This guy got on there and he literally just talked about his resume. It was it. He was like, hey guys, this is where I've worked. I could have read your resume, bro. I don't care. You're wasting people's time. That's really what you're doing. You're wasting people's time. You could have actually had some kind of announcement. I know they're going to say, oh, we're hiding behind NDAs, blah, 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 blah. Then just don't say anything. Like, if don't just say, oh, we have this information and then try to say, oh, but I can't tell you because NDA. Like, that's stupid. Like, how bad is your marketing team if that is the angle that you actually want to play? Like, really? Come on, guys. So I want to talk about this again. I've talked about this 3 years ago when Sologenic was starting, but Sologenic was at like the peak. People were loving it. They were mind blown by this new technology that was actually going to take place, and they didn't want to hear this. So hopefully I can say this again and people will pay attention, because I really do believe there is a big aspect of the crypto market that is preying on poor people. I really do believe that there are a lot of people out there in jobs that they hate. They don't have any way of, or that they can see of getting ahead, and they take what little money they have and they gamble on these crypto tokens thinking that they're going to get rich. And that's just not the way to escape poverty. It really is like the odds of you becoming a millionaire because you betted on a crypto token are very slim. And I'm a crypto guy. I'm telling you straight up, I love crypto. I love gambling on cryptocurrencies. I'm a total degen. It is fun. But if you don't have certain things in place, you probably shouldn't be gambling on the cryptocurrency market. And so again, just let me show you here. This is Sologenic. This is where the token was. It was out here. There was a big downfall. Super hype here. This is when the airdrop was about to happen. And right about here is where Bob tanked the market and bought himself a new mansion. And as you can see, as the years have gone on, really nothing has happened, but this token has gone way, way down. So obviously looking at the chart here, as you can see, it's set to all. This is the entire history. This is from 2020 all the way to 2024. Unless you were super smart and you sold up here at the top, which most of you did not, most of you held on here because this is the height of where the airdrop was going to happen. This is the height of where people thought they were going to collect all these tokens that were going to make them a lot of money. This is where all the good news was, right? People were not selling right there. Only probably insiders who were buying mansions sold here. Just being honest with you, sold. So most people here did not make money. I guarantee you the people probably at the top made the money, but it wasn't the crypto degen. Maybe a few people got lucky, maybe, but most people lost a lot of money here. And I feel like it was poor people that were going into this, betting on something, hoping this was going to be their way out of poverty, and boom, now they're still poor. They lost what savings they did have here and continue to be in that vicious cycle. And I know the second argument to this is, oh, but Cliff, I invested in Coreum and I stake all my money. Well, Coreum has been at a downtrend too. Ever since it started, downtrend. You know, I don't think I need to bring up the chart to prove that. We all probably agree that Coreum has done nothing but go down. So the argument becomes, oh, but I staked my Coreum. It doesn't matter if you're getting staking rewards if the token keeps going down. You're still losing money. That's how it works. Yeah, maybe you have more tokens now, but the tokens are worth less. So it doesn't matter. That's not even factoring into this equation. Here's the flip side of that. This is VTSAX, which is mostly S&P 500 kind of things. They have other allocations in there like real estate and just different things, bonds, you know, the different companies you get dividends from, but mostly, let's just say it's following the market because it pretty much is, mostly. This year, VTSAX has done 20%. This is a simple buy and hold, follow the market kind of thing. You've made over 20% this year just holding it, and it's still October. It's still probably going to go up after the election. It's still going to go up. 2023, you would have made 24%. Now I'll give you 2022 right here. You lost 20%. So maybe 2023 was kind of canceled out, but the year before that, you made 24%. The year before that, you made 18%. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like, this is your basic stock market buy and hold thing that's going to be in your 401k, the basic. No real risk to this at all. It's just a buy and hold. You would have made a shit ton of money compared to Sologenic or Coreum. So over the course of those 4 years, you probably would have made 100% returns if you would have just invested in the stock market compared to Sologenic or Coreum. The thing that really bothers me as I'm looking into people who are investing in these degen tokens is they are typically poor for what I'm seeing. If you would have took those same 4 years and instead of researching degen tokens and just worked on your income, bringing your income up to help your lifestyle, help your investments, you'd be in such a better place. And I know I'm saying this is common sense, but there's people that actually don't do this. They want to argue with me, especially 3 years ago when crypto was at its hype. When people are really believing in Coreum and Sologenic, people would fight me on this. They would want to say things like, oh, but the dollar is collapsing and the US economy is going to go somewhere in the hole. And come on, man. Are you serious? Are you really serious right now? If we really had a total American collapse, none of this is going to matter. Your crypto's not going to save you either. You're going to need your M4 and you're going to need any food that you can get. So don't be silly. Do not be silly. That's just a stupid argument. And I'm just being honest because Americans don't usually help each other. In fact, the only time in my 35 years of seeing life and Americans come together was one time, and that was 9/11. And that was just because they had a common enemy that they wanted to go attack. So yeah, if the US collapse, you're going to need guns, you're going to need ammo. That's really what it comes down to. So don't be stupid. My point is, over the 4 years, you could have been working on your income. You could have been in a lot better position than researching degen tokens. You could have been investing in the stock market and making real gains, like actual gains, 20% just this year, guys. If you had 100K in the stock market, you literally just made 20 grand. 20 grand, which is like half of what most Americans make, almost. Just doing nothing, just riding it out. So again, I'm going to say it. You can invest in these degen tokens. That's fine. I get it. I do it too. It's fun. It is fun. It really comes down to just being a hobby that you set money aside for. If you lose it, who cares? It's just meant to be fun, right? But you need a good income instead of focusing on degen tokens. You need to have a good emergency fund to try and get yourself ahead. Don't invest your emergency fund into degen tokens. That's stupid. You need to be using your 401k and all tax advantage space that you can afford yourself. You know, Roth IRA, Roth 401k. People don't want to hear that. But that's what you should be doing. It's common sense. It really is common sense. And then after you've done all those things, you can pay your bills. You have a steady car that's going to be reliable. Maybe you pay yourself back into a savings account for a new car. You know, all those things are lined up perfectly. Then maybe you start thinking, I'm going to play around with some money and risk it in some degen tokens. You know, because at that point, it doesn't matter if you lose all this money. It doesn't matter. And, you know, maybe you make money. Maybe you are skilled and you can make some money from this, but don't do it at the sacrifice of what family you probably have and not having a good income to recover from it. That's stupid. Really. Because as you can just see from looking at Sologenic and Coreum, this shit's not going anywhere. It hasn't gone anywhere in 4 years. But they're going to keep stringing you along with promises. And you can kind of get a pulse of the community here. Like, people aren't having it. They really aren't. Let me see where I can find it. That's me, obviously. Said at one time this could have been a good project. Now it's just embarrassing. This guy says it's sad, but every investor should give up on this project following the entire path of the team's work. Unfortunately, you cannot be trusted as long-term investors. As a long-term investor, I advise you to be careful with this project. And it just goes on and on, man. Just people that are bummed out about it. So do the common sense thing. Work on yourself. Get your income going. Get your emergency fund going. Get a car that's paid off. You know, pay it with cash. My camera keeps dying, so it's time to cut it off. You guys get the point. Hopefully this helps somebody. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video.